Hello class, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the new school year, and I'm going to show you how to use the calculator to do a couple of things. So this first lesson deals specifically with section 1.2, which is the first section that we're going to cover. First thing you need to do is let's go ahead and turn on our calculator. Okay, and we're going to place it on calculate. And your scratch pad is which should show up. Now I'm looking at problem number 1 on page 72. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is learn how to input an expression, and then for that expression we're going to evaluate it for a number of different values. So we're going to do this three ways. So the first way I'm going to do it is showing you guys how to input the expression and then manually input several different values to get your answer. Then I'm going to show you how to set up a spreadsheet and do it all at once. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to graph, and then from that graph we're going to create a table, but we're going to choose our own input values for that table to give you the output. Okay, so on page 72, number 1, here's our expression. So here's our division symbol here. So this particular expression has a fraction bar. Okay, so I'm going to go Control, Division. It's going to give me the fraction bar. And the numerator is x, then minus 4. Okay, then I'll click on the denominator. And our denominator is x squared, so I can go x. Now, I have an x squared button here, but if I want to do anything other than a second degree, I need to use this value here. So if I just do x squared, it'll put the squared there, then minus 5x, so we can go minus 5x, and then plus 4. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move my arrow over. So right now, your caret is sitting right in the denominator. I'm going to move that over by pressing this button here. I want to evaluate this at 3.9. So my evaluate button, so here's my expression. My evaluate button is going to be in these blue functions above the equal sign. So I go Control, Equal. And then this vertical bar here tells the calculator to evaluate this. Then I want to set this for x equal 3.9. I hit enter, and there's my answer there. Okay, so for this particular problem, we actually have to evaluate this expression for 6 different values of x. So what I'm going to do is highlight. Let's see. I'm going to highlight the expression, hit enter. Then I'm just going to backspace. Well, actually, my next value that I need to evaluate it for is 3.99, so I'm going to add a 9. Hit enter. Okay, now I'm going to go back up again. Hit enter. My next one is 3.999, so I'll add another 9. Okay, go up again, hit enter. Now at 4, there's already a question mark there, because when x is 4, we're going to end up with something called 0 with 0 divided by 0. And the calculator is going to tell you it's undefined. So if you look on the problem itself, the question mark is there, so you're not supposed to evaluate it for 4. So our next one is 4.001. So here I'll have to backspace, or actually erase. So delete right here, delete, 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 and now I go 4.001 and enter. Okay, let's do that again. So now it's 4.01, so delete, delete, 01, enter. Okay, now let's catch it again. And our last one is 4.1. Delete, delete, 4.1. Okay. All right, so in order to fill out our chart, here are all of the values that we need. Now what we're looking for is, as x approaches 4, from the left of 4, 3.9, 3.99, 3.999, and from the right of 4, what's happening with the values. So as we look here, looks like we're getting to 0.333, 0.333, so at least to the thousandth degree, we're at 1/3. So it looks like our answer is probably 1/3, even though when x is equal 4, you're going to get 0 divided by 0, which is an indeterminate form. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to do this using a spreadsheet. So we're going to create our expression, but now we're going to input all of our x values and get all of our answers at once. Okay, so here's a second way to do this. Okay, so let's take a look at creating our Lsn spreadsheet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press the home button. It's on and home. Okay, we're going to go to, I think it's new document. Yeah, that's it. And number 4 is add list or spreadsheet. So you can either arrow down or you can just click on 4. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable that we're using. So since we're using x, so up here in part A, we're going to put our x. Then we're going to include the values that we want x to be evaluated for. So 3.9, enter. 3.99, 3.999, 4.001, 4.01, and 4.1. Okay, now we're going to move up, and in column B we're going to enter our expression. So if you just click on it, it's going to put an equal there. So our expression equal, control, division, numerator is x minus 4, and our denominator is x squared. So this time I'm going to use the exponent button. Now what you notice here is that your cursor is still in the exponent. So in order to move that, click on this button here. So that's x squared minus 5x, and then plus 4. Hit enter. Now this part here is really important. So it's telling you to evaluate x as a column or a variable. So it defaults to all column references. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to do all variable references. Okay? And then there are your values. So what this allowed us to do was to evaluate this expression at multiple values of x all at once, rather than having to keep copying and inputting manually each variable that we wanted to use. Okay, so the last method I'm going to show you in evaluating this expression for these values is by graphing and then creating a table. So graphically, so if we click on the calculator button here or the on button, either or, let's do the on button. We're going to go to graph. Okay, so we're default here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate this. This is a function of x. So we're going to input our expression. So control and division. Numerator is x minus 4 again. Denominator is x squared minus 5x. Minus 5x. And plus 4. Okay, we're going to hit enter. And then there's our graph. Okay. So we're looking at our graph for values of x that are getting closer and closer to 4. Okay, so it's values over here. So we're going to take a look at our table. So let's go menu, and number 7 is table. Okay, so we click on split screen table, that's 1. Okay, so now it's going to give us the table here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to input some values, and you can see here when x is equal 1 and then when x is equal 4, the function itself is undefined. When x is 1, if you factor out the denominator, you're going to see that 1 and 4 are zeros, so you're dividing by 0, so we're undefined. So what we really want to look at is the values that we were given, the 3.9 all the way to 4.1. So we need to create our own independent variables here. So what we have to do here is, let's see, so what we need to do is let's go ahead and set this up so that we ask for the variables we want, the values that we want to evaluate the expression for. So let's go to menu. We're going to go to table, and we're going to go to edit table settings, which is number 5. And you can either click on it or you can click 5 here, either one. And where it says independent, we're going to ask. So change it from auto to ask. Hit OK. Okay, so now you're going to plug in your values. So we're going to do x is equal 3.9. X is equal 3.99. 3.999. 4.001. 4.01. And 4.1. Okay, and you see that we have the arrow over here. Let's see. Those are our values there. So we were able to do this particular problem 3 different ways. Same result. So it's a good idea to know how to utilize all 3 methods. Okay. So now you can go ahead and do the remaining problems 2 through 6. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. And I'll see you with the next lesson soon. Thanks.